What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Paige with the Paige, and today we're going to be talking through my June TBR. Hello my darlings, welcome to this video. Today I want to be talking through the books that I am hoping to read in the month of June. I am predominantly going to go over my Amazing Readathon TBR, and then I have a few additionals to throw into the mix as well. So I'm just going to go through the Amazing Readathon prompts that we have and the books that I have associated, and then the remainder. So the first prompt is a celestial or godly word in the title, and for that I'm going with The Saviour's Champion by Jenna Moresi. This is the Camp Seasonathon group book and I'm very excited to read it for that. So there is doubling up on those, thank God, and I'm going with Saviour as a celestial or godly word in the title. Then a book that is shorter than the last book you read. At the time of creating this TBR, I had just finished The Count of Monte Cristo, so I'm going to put on Challenger Deep by Neil Shusterman, which I'm just checking, it's still shorter than the actual last book that I read, that was Amari and the Despicable Wonders, so by like 60 pages, love that. So I don't know anything about this book or The Saviour's Champion. I just know that this has apparently some great rep in it, and Bert had recommended it to me to read for all my bookish peeps, so I'm putting it on to finally get to it and I'm very excited. I love Neil Shusterman's writing, so I'm thinking this will be a win. Then we have a cozy book or a comfort read. And for that, I'm going to put on Siren by Angie Sage. I've really enjoyed just falling back into this world and seeing what adventures Septimus Heap gets up to. It's the seventh son of the seventh son sort of thing, and it's a lot of fun. I don't know what we're doing in this one. I just keep going along. This is in a stranded island, so that's interesting. I don't know much about this plot when I go in. I'm just having a really fun time with the series and it's very, very comforting. Then we have a book with a romance, and for that I'm going to be reading Rebel in the Deep by Katie Robert. This is a three-way piratey glorious time. This is the third and final book in their Crimson Sail series, and I have really enjoyed seeing the couples that we have followed in the previous two books, so I can't wait to see where we end up. This released in May, and so I really wanted to get to it in May. I just don't think I'm going to have time, so putting it straight on the TBR for June, and so happy I could make this fit. Then for a book with a green cover, I'm going with The Seed Collectors by Scarlett Thomas. I need to read the lowest rated book on my TBR, and that is this one, so I wanted to fit it in somewhere, but I was kindly gifted this from a book fiend named Mel, but I have no idea what it involves in absolutely any way, shape or form, but I'm curious to give it a go and see if my rating aligns or not. So don't come at me, because the next prompt is a book with low ratings that I think I'll love. Yes, I'm aware how green this is. I don't know if I'm gonna love The Seed Collectors. I hope I do, but Toto I know I'm gonna love. I absolutely adore the Library of the Unwritten series by them, and this is a reimagining of if Toto went to Oz and their story about it, because as the tagline says, good dogs stay in Kansas, bad dogs go to Oz. So I am so excited to get to this, and although it is lowly rated, I think I'm going to have a fabulous time. Then we have a book that takes place in a large city, and for that I'm going with One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. This takes place in New York City. Do I know anything about this? No. Do I know anything about my books? No. 23-year-old August moves to New York City, and then there's a time travel element, and it's a romance. It's sapphic romance. That's all I know. So that's what I'm going with. And it took me so long to find a book that had a large city in it. And then for a final word in the title, I'm going with The Malevolent 8 by Sebastian de Castell. Again, this released in May, and I am too excited to not get to it, so I put it on the list. This is the continuation to The Malevolent 7, and I just had so much fun with the first book in the series, so I am eagerly wanting to dive into this continuation with every fibre of my being. Do I know anything about it? No. I do know there is a kangaroo involved at some point, way, shape or form. Then for a book with an over-the-top cover, I think this one, just with the colouring of it all, Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert? I don't know. I have no idea what this is about. Penguin Classic, and that's why we owed it, because Ash collects these editions. Am I really sad that this got randomized for my Storygraph? Yeah, I am. I had to swap this out for The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett because too many first books in series for a project. It's fine, everything's fine. I have no idea what this content is about though. Even if I wanted to, I have no idea. And then finally, a book with a chilling cover or a winter setting. I'm going with The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden. This is the third and final book in the Bear and the Nightingale series. And I was like, oh god, what could I read for this? And then remembered that that is where I'm up to in the series. So I was like, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's put the last book on and finally finish out this trilogy. So those are the 10 prompts for the Amazing Readathon. I do have some extras for Seasonathon. I have an additional 4 books, but I do also have a stack of some others that have been randomized or for Storygraph or my Patreon picks, and then with those included I then need to add an additional 2 continuations in series. So the first book we have is Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. This is the second in the Legendborn series, and I'm excited to see where we go with Bree and what ends up happening with this story. I also have Fatebound by Sarah L. Arifi. I'm really excited to dive into the series. I think it's going to be fantastic, and I really just don't want to know much about it, just appreciating the cover and going in for an absolute treat. I hope that I really enjoy it, and again, this got randomized for me, so it's on the list. Then for Buzzwordathon, none fit these, so I had originally put on and would really like to get to this, otherwise I really do need to DNF it, is Somebody I Used to Know by Wendy Mitchell and Unhaul It. This is their memoir when she was diagnosed with dementia at 58, and I think it's going to be absolutely amazing, but I don't think it's going to be an easy read, but it will fit for the buzzword prompts, so hoping to get to that in June. And then I needed a non-binary or trans main character for TBR Knockout and decided to pick up Light from Uncommon Stars by Raika Aoki. Again, know nothing about it aside from that is what it is, and Good Omens meets The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. Okay, California's San Gabriel Valley with cursed violin, forced in bargains, and queer alien courtship over fresh made donuts. I think I'm in for a good time, but I also haven't heard the best things about this, so I'll be curious to see where I land. And then my 2 Patreon picks. The first I'm so excited for because I found, and I just hear The Crimson Moth by Kristen Cicerelli. I am so excited to actually finally have this duology in my hands. I cannot wait. This is a very reflective cover. My apologies. Do I know anything? No. Am I just really excited for this? Yeah, I am. I think I'm gonna have a really glorious time. So this is what the Patreons have voted for me. Thank you. And I'm sure I could have made that fit somewhere, somehow, some way, but we'll see what happens. And then this will also cross over with Camp Seasonathon, but the other Patreon pick was 16 Souls by Rosie Talbot. So again, don't know anything about the content aside from the fact it's spooky. There's haunted souls there in York, and they have a prosthetic, which I think will be really interesting to read. So just a super short, quick TBR video, and this is not even, I think there's another like 8 books, oh god, 6 books that I want to read on top of this. So I've got my reading cut out for me for the month ahead, but I'm really excited to get to a lot of things that I've been sitting on for a while, and there are a few little curveballs in there as well. Yeah, so I'm hoping that potentially some of these will end up crossing off for the prompts for Camp Seasonathon that I have tentative choices in at the moment, just to be able to help with getting through it all, because this is a hefty stack. And I'm also trying to keep a balance of starting series and reading continuations. So with the amount of starts of series, I need to keep a balance. So we'll see how we go. But let me know in the comments what you're planning on picking up in June. Is there anything you're really excited for? I cannot wait for like The Crimson Moth, Rebel in the Deep, Malevolent 8. I think I'm gonna have a really good reading month, and we'll just see how the prompts drops go to be able to guide my reading. So yeah, feel free to leave anything you want to let me know in the comments down below, and if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you in my next video or over on my Patreon. Bye!